Hello everyone and welcome back to another part of this Manchester United Legends season as we kick on into some pretty big games. Now last time we left off between that and they didn't go well. We lost to League One Wigan 1-0 and you can see the team at the bottom right there. I put out a really strong side for this game. David Beckham got a 7.9 and yet somehow we still lost. David Beckham actually missed a penalty in that game as well, which meant that we lost to Wigan despite being in a position where we could have won it 5-6-1 quite comfortably. And then we followed it up with defeat to Nottingham Forest as marked in the middle of the 6-yard box, and instead of heading it away, headed it into the back of the net. We also had another penalty miss here. Paul Scholes this time missing the target. That was in the 89th minute as well, so that cost us a potential draw. But luckily we do at least have the second leg of that game, of that competition, where we should be able to overturn Nottingham Forest at home. Now we do have a couple of games in the meantime. We've got Arsenal and Spurs, who we will see the highlights of today, and then tomorrow we will have a live comm of that Nottingham Forest game as we try to come back from that defeat and get into the final. Then we'll probably skip a few games until the Valencia match. So that's the forecast ahead. Now last time I asked you guys for your suggestions on who I should be signing, and I'll let you know I have spent about £170 million since then. I took all of your suggestions on board. A lot of you wanted me to bring in Ronaldo, Messi, players like that. And other people wanted me to sign all of the former Manchester United greats like Berbatov. I looked at Wayne Rooney as well, but unfortunately they were all costing far more than I thought they were worth, given they're 16, 17 years old. They were asking for 150 million for 16-year-olds, and I'm just not willing to do that when I don't know how long this save is actually going to go on for. On that point, if you are enjoying the series, do make sure you leave likes on the videos. This series gets a lot less views than my experiments, but if you want to keep seeing series like these, just keep hitting that like button and I'll know that you do want more episodes out of this series, and make sure to hit subscribe so you do see every episode from this series. Now let's have a look at those transfers. There's only 3 of them, which will give you a clue as to how I've gone about this, but if we look at our transfer history, you can see we signed Pele for £140 million. That was the cheapest I was going to get him. It was 120 in instalments with 20 million up front, which is how I've managed to make this transfer work. It was a huge part of our budget, but I thought if I was going to make one massive marquee impact signing, I'm going to go for the greatest player of all time, which in my mind Pele absolutely is. So I brought Pele in. We also managed to pick up David Villa for 25 million. He cost more than I wanted him to, but my other striking options all cost 50, 60 million quid. So I saw him and I thought we'll bring him in because he can do a job, he will develop, and he just gives us another option up front when some of our strikers are not actually that great. So I'm envisioning that Pele will play either behind or up front instead of David Law. Dennis, or with David Villa up front on rotation as well every so often. Somebody also mentioned Giorgio Chiellini, saying I could have got him on a free. I wasn't able to get him on a free, but I did get him for just £7 million. So I think that's a good deal alongside Dries Mertens and Ivan Rakitic. I think that's a pretty good collection of players for our first season, and stunningly I still have 20 million in the transfer budget, but I imagine that will go pretty quickly as we pay off Pele's deal. So now we need to take on Arsenal. It's going to be a big match. You can see the team we've got going out there. Pele makes his debut in the place where Bobby Charlton normally plays. He is injured today. Oh, actually no, he's not. He's playing on the left flank, sorry, because Giggs is injured. So Charlton's moved out to the left. Best is on the right. They're all behind Law up front. Then there's Keane and Scholes in midfield. Roy Keane has been poor, to say the least, since he came in, so I'm thinking about dropping him, but I just don't have too many good central midfield options. Beckham could play there, but at the moment I'm going to give Keane another chance. And then in defence we've got Byrne, Ferdinand, Stam and Neville with Schmeichel in goal. Neville plays the ball forward to Law, headed down to Keane, now Pele, trying to look for Bobby Charlton, wasn't able to pick him out. Bastin on the attack, plays it forward to Drake. Now out wide to Bastin again. He's got a man on the overlap there, but Ferdinand's stolen it, tries to play it forward to Law, but cut out well. Law does get it back though. Plays it in behind for George Best. Excellent position. Pele's in the box. Oh, and what was that from George Best? That was horrific. Drake plays it forward to Henry. He's cutting in from the left. He scored a hat-trick against us last time, but he's missed the target this time. We need to be careful of Henry. Did he actually get 4 goals, I think, in the last game when they still managed to lose? Here's Silva. Gilberto Silva forward to Pires, out wide to Pat Rice. He plays it behind for Bastin. He's got Henry at the back stick, but he can't get it over there past the keeper, and we do get a free kick. McClintock forward to Gilberto Silva. Now Tony Adams. Back to McClintock again. We're playing a high press here. Collar out wide to Henry. Good crossfield pass to Bastin. It goes back to Henry again. Crowded out, but still picks out Pat Rice beautifully. Rice puts it in, and there's the header. It's Thierry Henry. Who else? He is possibly one of the best actual legends I've seen in this game. Not in terms of stats or anything like that, but the way he plays when you watch the players, even on this 3D graphic, he just plays sensationally. There's no doubt about that. And now Drake's got him behind, but Schmeichel does save it. Could we be about to lose 3 on the bounce, which would be horrific? We've got a corner to defend from Pires. It's into Drake, but Schmeichel stops it. I've changed things around a little bit. We've brought on Duncan Edwards, who's coming back from injury. He's carrying a knock, but I'm hoping he'll be okay. He's so important to us in midfield. Beckham is now on the right with Best on the left. Charlton is through the middle with Pele up front alone. Beckham looking for Pele, and that change makes instant impact here. Pele with the goal. I think he just has to be up front, but he gets a debut Premier League goal, and it was the substitute Beckham who provided it. There's no doubt my substitutions absolutely paid dividend there. That was only our second shot on target in the entire game, and do we have the chance now to turn this around with 20 minutes to go? One more goal would give us a crucial win, and then I think extend our lead at the top. Beckham with the corner, and it's come to Stam, and he can't make up for the own goal because he's managed to hit a defender instead of the back of the net. But we're getting even closer. Arsenal have been so dominant in this game. They'll be furious if they don't get the win, and if they lose, I mean, that'd be absolute steal from us. And now Best plays it in. Pele is unmarked in on the keeper, and Pele, he's missed it. I thought that was a goal then when the blue thing flashed at the top, but it was the substitution. I'm not sure how Pele's missed that chance. But 1-1, there's about 2 minutes left. I'll take a draw on this performance. It's been a poor performance, but we have been the better team since I made those substitutions. Here's Collar though. Going back, finds Bergkamp. Ball forward to Drake. Hits Edwards, but Bastin has it. He goes out wide to Hargood. Henry up front. Here's Scholes. Can we counter? Ferdinand over the top. Finds Pele. Now George Best. Needs to go back inside. Instead he goes outside to Burn. Edwards to Best. Burn's still out there. Best goes alone. And he's put it over the bar. I mean, that was a decent position. He probably should have passed it off, but he went for goal. We do still have another chance here, except we've given the ball away to Arsenal. Here's Rice to Collar. Now Bergkamp plays it into Henry. Oh, and he's just missed the target. Both sides with the chance to win it in added time, but nothing coming out of it. 50 seconds left. Charlton has the ball though. Plays it forward, but it's cleared away. Now Drake out wide to Bastin. He's got 4 in the box to aim at, but Neville clears it only as far as Henry, but he puts it over the top. And I'm pretty sure that will be there or thereabouts a full-time whistle. It's a 1-1 draw, which is better than a defeat. It does stop us from continuing that losing streak, but it is not quite the result I wanted. It's not over. Bastin there. Oh my god. I can't believe that just happened. There I was talking about how thank god it's not a third straight defeat. And then 30 seconds after added time was supposed to be over, they scored a goal. There's a full-time whistle. If I was a real-life manager, I would be screaming at that ref right now. Why were they able to score 30 minutes after added time was up? A 94th minute winner for Arsenal after we were the better team from those substitutions. I think we have to say we were unlucky there, but that's 3 straight defeats now. We have to bring this run to an end because we were absolutely unstoppable before this, and it means in the league we have been clawed back. There's 10 points now, the lead. We could have extended it even further because Arsenal are now directly behind us. But it's not the end of the world. We are still 10 points clear with 15 games to go. We just need to pick it up when we take on Spurs next. That's our first defeat in 14 league games, but our 3rd defeat in a row. Pele has at least scored on his debut. He will be playing up front for that next match against Spurs. Well, it is now time to take on Manchester United. I have made a few changes to the squad. So Pele is up front for this one, but you can see Jesse Lingard is now promoted from the under-23s to the first team. He's 16 years old, but he's pretty good in terms of his rating. I'm not sure why he was reset to a legend level, but he was. But he's been promoted now to play on the left flank. We've also got David Villa on the bench as a potential striking option. If we have a look at the squad more generally, and just have a look towards the bottom of this screen, you can see Lingard, Mertens, Villa, Fletcher, Rashford and Rakitic all promoted to the first team, and Chiellini. A few players relegated to the under-23s, mostly players that weren't playing for me, the likes of Dennis Irwin, players like that. I also demoted Eric Cantona. He called me pathetic, so I sold him. He's now at PSG. I let him go for £20 million, which is quite a low amount of money, but he'd been pretty poor up to now. And also I just didn't like the fact they called me pathetic, so I let him go on the cheap. But it does mean that Pele will be leading the line. Villa does get this spot on the bench as a result. Pretty strong team. Edwards back from injury. Charlton through the middle. This is more like a first team. We're just missing Ryan Giggs on this left flank. Bobby Charlton gives the ball away there to Smith. Ball out wide for Jimmy Greaves. He loses out to Duncan Edwards. Now Best beats the defender beautifully. He's got Pele through the middle if he can pick him out. Best puts it in. Pele makes the header. It's 1-0, 3 minutes in, and Pele scores for his second game in a row. That's a 100% scoring record for Pele since we signed him, and that massive transfer fee is slowly being paid back. Beckham with a free kick into the middle. It's come to Pele, puts it across. Best is there, but Jennings with a good stop. Bobby Charlton out wide to Best. Pele making a run. Best cuts inside, back to Beckham. Now Charlton charging forward, finds Pele, and he finds the bottom corner for 2-0. Pele with another goal. We've started him up front on his own today, and he's already showing us what Dennis Law couldn't. Corner from Hoddle into the middle. Charlton away. Here's Correa onto Mackie. Back to Hoddle again. Ball goes in, it's cleared away. Ferdinand's the first one to it. He's very advanced there, which Ferdinand did do in his playing days. Now Best, he's got 3 arriving, puts it in. Pele's there, and Pele has a 15-minute hat-trick from the start here, which is surely a sign of what is to come. Correa to Hoddle. Out wide to Perryman. Now Correa again. Out wide to Perryman once more. Ball goes in. Stam clears it. Now Byrne. Out wide to George Best. He beats the defender. He's got a few in the middle to look for. Pele's in there. Best to the byline. Puts it in towards Pele, but the keeper with an easy catch at his near post. Jennings then rolls it out to Norman. Ball goes over the top. It's Correa. Smith to Hoddle. Now Correa again. Out wide for Perryman. He's got players in the middle. He looks for Smith, and Schmeichel really should have saved that. He got a hand to it, and it wasn't that hard a shot, but he's led it into the net. Lingard to Pele. Ball into George Best. Good first touch, and he drills it into that bottom corner for an instant reply. And just half an hour gone, but it's 4-1. Hoddle out wide to Correa. Spurs still trying to make a game of this. Hoddle with the shot, and he does make a game of it. What a strike from Glenn Hoddle, and it's now 4-2. George Best to Pele. Now Charlton over the top for Lingard. Good position, can pull it across. Oh, but it's hit a defender, and they do get it away here, but straight to Yap Stam. Ball out wide to Best. Knowles clears it. Neville down. Knowles again. Now Greaves to Mackay. Ball goes to Jimmy Greaves once more. If they score another one, this really is game back on, and there's so long still to go. Here's Ferdinand out wide. Gives it away again. Correa to Hoddle. Now Smith cuts inside, back to Mackay. Jimmy Greaves puts it in, and there's Correa, but it's gone wide. Hour gone now. It's Mackay back to Norman in defence. Now Correa. Mackay gives it away. Now Pele plays it. Still goes himself. He finds Jesse Lingard, and Jesse Lingard scores on his debut. That's all because of Pele, but he's just 16 years old here, Jesse Lingard, and he's made it 5-2. Edwards pushes it out wide. That was a terrible ball though, and Correa picks it up. Charging at us, finds Smith. He goes out wide, gives it away to Neville. Pele's been played in. He's through the 2 central defenders, but Jennings makes a good stop. Corner from Beckham. Not long left in this game. Charlton picks up the loose ball. I put David Villa on up front for his debut, so it'd be good if he could get a late goal here. Burn to Carey. Now Stam. Schmeichel with a punt down the field. Villa wins the header, but it's come to Edwards. Now Lingard. On to Beckham. Back to Lingard once more. Charlton in a good position. Finds George Best, but Jennings saves it. Smith goes for the long ball to Jimmy Greaves. He puts it to the back stick, and it's a header from Bobby Smith. Jimmy Greaves with a great cross there. Burn should have dealt with it, but instead it's 5-3. Hoddle, last kick of the game, surely. It comes to Correa, and it goes wide, and that will be the full-time whistle. There will be no equaliser or losing goal here this late. It is 5-3. It's a good win. Hat-trick for Pele in the opening 15 minutes. One for George Best. Jesse Lingard getting a goal on his debut. He could well be the club's youngest goal scorer as a result. And I get to say I'm happy with the win and get a colour block like that. So a good win there. Conceded a few too many goals. We probably could have scored quite a few more. But overall, I'm happy just to bring that losing run to an end ahead of this Nottingham Forest game. Lingard there, making his debut and getting a goal. That is not bad at all. If we just have a look at how old Jesse Lingard is, he's 16 years old. And he has scored his first goal for the club. Pele getting a hat-trick there, 4 in his first 2 games, shows why we paid so much money for him. He is going to get a lot more goals as well, so I'm very happy with that. Do drop a like on the video if you enjoyed Pele's performances since making that transfer. You can see we'll be taking on Nottingham Forest in the next match, a huge game if we're looking to win some silverware this season. And then we will skip past the West Ham, Blackburn and Sunderland games and go straight to Valencia in the knockout stages of the Champions League. Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you would like to see that game, but until next time, see ya!